Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another brand new episode of the Collider Games podcast. My name's Dennis Den. I'm in studio with...
What's up, guys? It's your boy, Dorian.
And through the magic of Skype, we've got Caboose. How you doing, Caboose?
Doing good. Still recovering from E3, but doing good. Doing good.
Yeah, we did our podcast last week while you were here in town for E3. Got kicked out of the... Yeah. We got kicked out. It was short. We did like a 20-minute podcast. I think we could have gone much longer, but then they booted us out.
They literally, people were like in our frame, like, hey, y'all got to get out of here, bro. Like, get the fuck out. But it's cool.
Yeah, so it's been a week. We didn't get to talk about everything we wanted to. I mean, we definitely covered, our kind of highlights and lowlights and whatnot, and discussed like Sony not being there and how much it affected things. I know you and me, Caboose, agreed that Sony being gone definitely affected the E3, but that wasn't the main reason why it was a little lackluster this year.
Right. Yeah, it didn't like Sony not being there. Obviously, you felt the void that they would usually fill on the show floor or even with the press conference and everything. But them being there or not, I feel if you're attending E3, wouldn't have done much. Especially because of the fact that if they were going to be there, they were going to bring the same three games that they've been showing essentially for the last couple of years, which would be Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us Part 2, and Death Stranding,
and not let you play any of them.
Right, and we wouldn't have had the chance to get our hands on with any of those games. So I think that was kind of the main core issue at E3 this year. Not necessarily issue, but just kind of the unfortunate, turn of events was that a lot of the games that showed up were not playable at E3, and that's why, it didn't feel like it was as lively as it's been for the last couple of years. I still had a great time. I still enjoyed the hell out of it. It was great getting to hang out with you guys and make a ton of videos and content, and we did get to play a fair share. We got to try out Ghost Recon Breakpoint and, so plenty of other games. There were a lot of other games that we got our hands on with. But yeah, I mean, I think Sony being there, it would have helped for sure. It would have made it a better E3, but them not being there wasn't the sole factor for why this E3 wasn't on par with the previous years.
Yeah, I think, I've seen some articles come out there saying it was, and it's like, but I mean, they didn't really have anything to show. And then also Xbox themselves, Microsoft, they, we obviously had fun at their conference and they had a lot of cool stuff to show. But they held back on the next-gen stuff. I thought they were going to show more of that. They only showed Halo Infinite and then some specs of the games that were on par to the Sony's PS5 specs. So I think they're holding back because they know, one, they got to release next year, so there's no point in showing all their cards now when there's so much time. And then they know Sony's coming next year.
Yeah, so I feel like it was just, I think they just did that announcement just to be like, hey, guys, we got something too, just so people aren't just sleeping on thinking, oh, Sony's got the PS5, they're coming up with that fire. So I think they just did that hey, we're also working on our next gen as well, just to put out the announcement. And then maybe later this year, going into next year, we'll get actual more details about it, more game reveals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think too, just another big issue was a lot of the press conferences that we did get didn't show a lot of gameplay for games. I feel like it would have been a great opportunity, even if just for a brief glimpse of it, we could have gotten some Halo gameplay. And then when they showed Gears 5, for some reason, they didn't show gameplay, which was weird to me. It's like, you've already shown us gameplay from Gears 5 last year. So what were you holding out on this year? I really don't know, especially because that game mode, Escape, was a ton of fun. And if they just showed a little bit of it rather than having the cinematic trailer, I think that would have gotten people a little hyped. Even if they showed gameplay from that Terminator mode they've been teasing, that could have been great. Because another big issue is most of the press conferences, it was just, here's a reveal, here's a game that's coming, cinematic trailer, no gameplay. That's why when you see something like Watch Dogs gameplay, it's like, oh, okay, awesome, we're actually seeing an upcoming game in motion, so that was another big issue. Yeah,
and which kind of segues to our first story here with Avengers. They had a cinematic trailer. We had a tiny bit of gameplay footage. All three of us had gone in there and watched the 20-minute kind of gameplay thing.
Yep.
A lot of the graphics criticism really isn't too much into the gameplay footage because you're not looking at the people's faces, and also the designs of the costumes kind of look fine from that.
From like when
sure.
like in the like when they're going in motion and all that it looks fine. I think what you're saying, Dennis, is the actual when they're standing or when you're like looking at the character details themselves didn't look as good as people wanted. But like me and Caboose even said it in our like first impressions video right before they even confirmed like, hey, we'll be working on it. We said, hey, it's a year out. They have plenty of time to actually put more detail into the actual characters. Like from the gameplay we actually saw, I was very impressed. But yeah, we address like, hey, they got a year. Like, let's chill out and before people write this game off completely.
I get in games, the first impression is super important. And in all fairness, for as much of a fan of this game as I am right now, they didn't make the best first impression. They came out with a trailer that graphically didn't look the greatest, and the gameplay that they showed was like so split second that you couldn't really get a full taste of how it's supposed to look in motion. There was gameplay in that trailer. No doubt there was gameplay.
Are you talking about the 20-minute one or the quick one we saw at Square Enix?
The trailer that came
out. Gotcha.
Right.
There's tiny.
So they didn't make there's tiny glimpses of gameplay with pretty much every character. So yeah, they didn't make the best first impression, and that's unfortunate because some people they're going to live and die off of that first impression. But we're 11 months away. The game is not coming out tomorrow. It's not coming out next month. It's not coming out this fall. It's coming out May 2020. We are a full year away from the game coming out. It's going to look better on release. That should have been a given, but Square Enix has taken in the criticism. They have listened. The developers who are working on the game have also listened, and they've come out and said, hey, you guys are right. We're going to be working on this. We're going to make sure we deliver a good-looking product come May 15th, 2020, because, they didn't make that first impression the greatest. But that 20-minute gameplay that we got to see was super impressive. It looks so much fun. Each character is incredibly unique from one another, and the costume design issues that I had with like Captain America and Thor and them, I threw it out the window once I see them running around and doing their crazy abilities. Seeing Captain America lift up his shield and punch it from the inside like he does in Winter Soldier, it was so cool that I can do that in a video game. Like, hell yes, that's exactly what I would want to play as Captain America in a video game, is to do some of the crazy stuff that he does from the movies. So that was great. All of that in motion looks phenomenal. Hopefully a bunch of people will be able to see that stuff show up online soon enough.
Officially.
But either way,
show up online officially.
Yeah, and not record behind closed door gameplay, even though you're instructed not to, like some idiots have. But yeah, hopefully that stuff shows up online officially, so then people can get a look at this game and to understand that, hey, when you're actually playing it, when there's gameplay and everything's moving, it looks freaking great. It looks a ton of fun, and now I'm so excited to be like jumping online with either you guys or just anyone and being in that sort of environment, playing as Iron Man while my buddy is playing as Thor, and we're both just kicking ass with these characters and doing a bunch of the different crazy abilities that we got to see. That's going to be awesome. So I am still very excited for this game, but I understand the criticism. I agree with the criticism to an extent, and I'm sure that a year from now, when the game is out and in our hands, it's going to look a lot better, probably still play just as good as it looked to play.
Yeah, they clarified. So I remember during the E3 that they had come out and said, oh, they're listening to the criticism and that they would like fix the graphics. But they kind of clarified recently, they're not changing the design. The design is going to stay the same.
Yep.
It's that they're going to improve the graphics.
Yep. So the costume designs and everything, for me, I knew that they were set in stone once you see the live display costumes at E3 at their booth. They're not gonna change the costumes after they spend all that money creating real life versions of them. So the silver lining in that is, if you don't like how Captain America looks, guess what? The game's gonna have customization. You're probably gonna have the option to make Captain America look like classic Captain America. And if not, I'm sure there's going to be a cool looking version of the character that you can get a costume for or customize him to look the way that you see fit. So don't worry about the character designs all that much if you're not a fan of them, because when the game comes out, it's been confirmed you're going to be able to customize your characters.
Yeah, and that was like one of the things at the presentation and at the demo that they like kind of like made sure to let you know, like, yeah, even after this game releases, there will still be plenty of upgrades and things going along as the game as months go on. So I'm just optimistic about it because it's Square Enix. They deliver fire for the most part.
Yeah,
and it's Marvel. So if they've been working on this for about 3 or 4 years, so now they have another year on top of that to really make sure everything is fine-tuned and looks all crystal clear. Yeah, so
you even notice in in the trailer that came out, like the 3-minute trailer, towards the end, like Iron Man's in space, he's got a white suit on. So like right there, you've seen some of the customization that's available. There's a different Iron Man suit that he's wearing in that trailer. So like I wouldn't worry too much about the designs if you're asking me.
Okay, so related to this, because you were mentioning before playing with your friends online, which you can still do, but there's been clarification that you can't play the full campaign with your friends.
Yeah.
So that's still a solo only, but they're going to kind of spin off some of these missions from the campaign that you and your friends can play as the whole Avengers team.
Yeah, because I remember when we were watching that, and you can go watch our first impressions 20-minute video on our channel right now. But I remember after we finished, we were like, so how are you going to be able to play? Like, how are we going to be able to do these together? So I'm glad they actually clarified that it's not going to be part of the campaign, and you'll actually have to go through yourself and be like how they transition from Captain America to Thor. Like at first we were like, oh, maybe you're playing as Captain America while Thor's over here doing that, but you're actually going to be switching those characters yourself. So I'm glad that they're keeping it a solo for the storyline itself rather than a bunch of people playing on the campaign as a story.
Yeah. So what I remember, I don't know if this was at the press conference or if this was during the demo that we were watching, but I remember them mentioning when you're going through the story mode, it's kind of like there's set characters that you're playing as. So it's going to do essentially what we saw in that mission that was shown to us, where you're jumping from Thor to Iron Man, from Iron Man to Hulk, and so on and so forth. So it's going to do that probably during the entire campaign. You're going to have set characters that you're playing as for the entire campaign. But outside of that, there's going to be maybe side missions or things that you can do where you can select a specific character you want to play as for that mission and go out and play it online in an environment with your friends or with some random people, who knows, whatever it may be. So there's going to be kind of a linear story, but this non-linear, semi-open world aspect to the game that's outside of the actual main campaign, which I think is great because there's a ton of people out here who are going to be like, oh no, it's this games as a service, online only model. Doesn't seem to be that way. It seems kind of be a mesh of the best of both worlds. You're going to have a single player element to it to play through the story mode. And then after that, or even during that, you can branch off and play online with your friends doing other missions that are available in the open world.
Yeah. So got to keep our eyes on that. So just so people know, there is no campaign multiplayer mode where all four of you are going through the story together. So, but you still will be able to play as the Avengers together in side missions or whatnot. So looking forward to that. Another piece of news that came out is for Cyberpunk 2077. Obviously, Keanu Reeves was a highlight of last week's conference, and the reveal that he's going to be in the game is Johnny Silverhand. Another reveal that he has the second most dialogue besides your player. Because, people saw that and maybe, including myself, you're like, well, how much is he in the game? Is he a cameo or maybe just one mission within the content? Basically, this character is going to be with you the whole time.
Yeah, they said he's in your head or something.
Yeah.
Dope.
Yeah, so what I saw during the presentation, that's what they say is you got some chip in your head, and that's where he comes from. And he's essentially, if anyone played Batman Arkham Knight, he's gonna be like what the Joker was in that game, where he kind of just will pop up in different areas, and you're the only one who sees him, you're the only one who hears him, and he interacts with you in that way. And I think that's brilliant. I am so excited for that.
Bro, Keanu's getting all the roles. I wonder how much he got paid for that.
He's
making bank.
Yeah.
But is that so? They confirmed that during your, because I know you had like the whole Cyberpunk presentation. I'm still salty I didn't get one of those jackets, fam. But yeah. So is there any other details like besides that they like really like emphasized on?
No, I mean they showed a lot of the whole RPG element of the game. You know, the whole idea that each encounter or each mission that you get into has different encounters based on the build of your character. So they did something specifically because they had a dev build where they were able to go through the same encounter twice, once as a tech-based character and once as a strength-based character. So for the tech build, you got to like hack security cameras and sneak your way to the objective, whereas the strength build, you can just rip open doors and just get to wherever you want and just bust down and just destroy enemies because you're that build. So I think that was really cool to finally showcase the RPG elements of the game, because up until that point we've been seeing a lot of like, hey, you can customize your character and this is the open world and this is all the crazy things that you can do in that open world. But now they got into the nitty gritty of it, you know, the clothing and, you know, the skill trees and all that stuff. And I think that's what's going to add either replayability or just an endless amount of hours playing through this game and all the side missions and everything that's going to be available through the open world.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah.
I love these type of games.
This game's going to be awesome.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we talked about Gears 5. They said that, there'll be free DLC maps. Free.
Yeah.
There's no season pass and no loot boxes. Or at least no randomized loot boxes.
Yeah.
Which, you know, is music to a lot of people's ears because they're not trying to... There are microtransactions, but they don't involve any of these.
Sorry, Dennis. They're not called loot boxes. They're called surprise mechanics.
Oh, yes. Isn't that
according to EA?
Yes. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
But
this is good news.
This is good news. I mean, you can still purchase microtransactions for like cosmetic stuff or whatever, but there's no kind of like, hey, I mean, the random loot box thing is like, it's a gamble, right? I mean, it's like you're basically gambling to hopefully get something good, right? And I think that's the element that a lot of people aren't happy with, that it's kind of like creating this almost gamble-like, casino-like atmosphere when it comes to these games. I mean, as a Gears 5, you played the game. What do you think about this news?
I mean, it can only mean good news. You know, they said this for Avengers as well. Like, all the post-launch content is going to be absolutely 100% free. I flubbed and said that there wasn't going to be microtransactions. They said there's going to be, or there is going to be, but it's cosmetic. So same situation there. But it's always a good thing to hear when a developer or the publishers are doing something like this, because that means, hey, if you're going to get invested into Gears 5, don't worry about a season pass. Don't worry about the DLC or the new maps or anything like that and how much money you're going to have to save up to get your hands on that, because it's going to be free. It's going to all come your way when it's out, when it's available, just free to download, and you're good to go, and you can try out all that new content. I think that is nothing but a good thing. It's hard. Like, you'd have to be the most cynical person on the planet to be complaining about something like this, and I don't see anyone complaining about something like this unless you just hate Gears or hate Xbox, which there's some people out there that do that. But regardless, this is great. No loot boxes as well. That's awesome. Or sorry, surprise mechanics.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I'm really happy that they're doing this.
Yeah. We got to get to Dorian on the Halo and Gears on the Game Pass.
Yes.
This summer, that'll be me. I got you. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
I like how much that sentence changed as you got towards
you
the end of
definitely
it.
should. I mean, for me, Halo.
I'll definitely get on. The goal is to have all the games beat before Scarlet comes out. So I think I got time. Like Rome wasn't built in a day. We'll get there. I still got a lot of other games I got to get through first.
Yeah.
All right. We got this crazy game here. Do you guys take a look at this video?
Yeah, when you sent when I saw that on the outline, I was like, wait, what the hell? And then I actually watched the video. Yeah. I'm like, all right, I'm down. You can play as a shark and kill people.
Insane.
So this game is called Maneater, and it's a crazy open world shark game. It's like
insane
GTA, except for you're a shark. And so you're like in the ocean, in the water, and you like see, not enemies really.
It's just
anybody, and anything.
Killing turtles and stuff. And
smaller fish.
They gave them combos. You can like combo in the air and stuff. I'm like, what's going on? I'm down though.
Yeah, you're basically Jaws, right? You're playing Jaws. Mm-hmm. And you're like, you see any random things, you can attack, grab, and then, it's over the top. You grab them, you flip through the air, blood.
Things that a shark is not capable of.
Yeah. There's people on like a jet ski, and you just can mow them down and whatnot. I mean, this is one of those games that, like, if it's done well, can be kind of like a surprise hit, you know what I mean? Like...
Yeah, this looks like just like a fun game that'll be there, It's absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Like, I'm watching the gameplay right now. This game is so crazy, but I can see it being fun.
Graphics aren't bad either. Graphics aren't bad either.
Not a bad looking game at all by any means.
So is it
and I'm sure like if you get the hang of it, could be a lot of fun.
So like in comparison to GTA, so let's say like, okay, you kill somebody, do you get a fin or something, and then you get the police, the aqua police. What do you call those? What do you call those people? The
aqua police and the Coast Guard.
Yeah,
let's go with that.
The aqua
police. Yeah.
But anyway, so like, do you like the more people you kill, the more is there more people on you?
I would assume so.
Because I saw like one. I don't even know what they're called. The Coast Guards. I saw you taking like you take down one of them because they're
it says infamy rank up. So it's like, I think so. Like suddenly, like you're like they come after you.
Yeah.
Can you like recruit
it did look like
other sharks?
There's this one part where like you face off against this giant like alligator. Your shark actually isn't that big. You know what I mean? Your shark, but I'm guessing maybe you can do upgrades and whatnot, and maybe your speed and your moves and your the Coast Guard.
It would be cool if there were boss battles against like a giant alligator or something like that. Like you could inevitably build up to fight that alligator that you see in the trailer. That would be fun.
By the end of it, he becomes like the Meg or whatever. The Aqua Police, bro. That's the dumbest thing I've ever said.
Aqua Police.
That's going to be the new name.
Aqua Police.
They're changing it.
But
oh my God, you get beached in this and everything too? That's crazy.
Yeah. So this looks interesting for anyone who wants to check it out. Look it up.
For
Maneater.
Sure. Maneater.
Yeah.
Game of the year.
Game of the year. All right. Let's see. Next one. Actually, let me get Wendy in here for this.
Wendy.
But
Harry Potter. She can take over my seat because I don't know. You guys probably know more about Harry. I mean, I've seen the movies and I like them. But
I don't know anything.
You don't know about Harry?
I watched the movie as well. Just I'm not a fan of the. I read the books when I was a little kid. I don't play any of the games though. I haven't seen the second Fantastic Beasts yet.
Okay, let me get Wendy in here to talk about it. I mean, you guys heard about this, the Harry Potter Wizards Unite. It's basically Pokemon Go, but it's whatchamacallit? It's Harry Potter.
Harry Potter, yeah. I actually heard about this. Funny enough, I don't know if has anyone seen online that video where it's like weird security cam footage and this little Dobby looking creature is like walking down someone's driveway.
No.
And it's like terrifying. It's viral online.
Yes, I saw that.
Everyone thought it was an alien. And the first time I heard about this game is someone in the replies. Because I was like, okay, what's the catch here? What's going on? Like, is that an alien? Let's figure this out.
It's like a secret viral campaign to promote this Harry Potter
the game
Wizards Unite. Pokemon
I think it was just something that was unused out of all or was it just genuinely like supposed to be a viral campaign, like that they just snuck in there and everyone freaked out over it, which I guess it worked in favor of the game. But yeah, that's when I first heard about this game.
Yeah, it's by Niantic, who did Ingress. They they started on the AR train like a long time ago with this game called Ingress for your mobile phone that you walked around different locations, and then eventually, because of that, they're able to do the Pokemon Go game, and they're
Right.
basically like the go-to studio to do these type of games because I guess they have all the technology, all the software, and all the experience to do this.
And they're getting people in shape. Shout out to them for making people walk.
Walk around, like people walk
Yes.
around. Just as long as people don't go crazy. Like, remember there were stories of, wasn't it like some people like fell off a cliff or something playing Pokemon Go?
Is that serious,
Seriously?
man?
Yeah.
I've heard.
That's insane.
Yeah, the only ones I've heard about are like just people getting robbed and stuff because it's like at a hot spot or something like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like people will go
Jeez.
and then you just get jumped and stuff. It's dangerous out there too, so be safe. Pokemon Go safely, or Harry Potter Go, or whatever. Wizarding World Go. Don't Harry Potter and drive.
There we go. Wendy. Here we
Wendy.
go.
Hey.
All right.
Phone was on silent.
We don't have that one set up. You're going to have to take one of our seats. Here. Why don't you take my seat?
Wait, what are we doing right now?
We're talking about Wizards Unite, Harry Potter. So why don't you give us your insights on
Okay.
this?
Taking the hosting seat.
Taking the hosting seat. Is this on camera too?
Yes.
Oh, hi.
This one.
Hello.
Hi. All right. So who am I talking? Who's in my ears?
Caboose.
Hey.
Here. What's going on, Wendy? How you
Not
doing?
much. How are you?
Doing good. Doing good. Still
Oh.
recovering from E3.
Yeah, I bet. Has anyone here played Wizards Unite?
I haven't.
You
I'm
haven't?
not.
Not yet, no.
Do any of you play Pokemon Go?
I used to.
Okay, so
I did not.
Oh wow.
all of
Caboose.
you guys, come on now.
I'm brand new.
This is obviously by the same company, Niantic, who did Ingress, Ingress and Pokemon Go, which I'm a huge fan of. So this game is very much based around the same premise as Pokemon Go, but luckily for us, it's not a carbon copy, which I was really afraid of it being a carbon copy. I was like, great, we're going to tap the screen for battles. We're going to walk around and tap on a Pokemon and throw a whatever, I don't know, and it was going to be the same. But this is so in-depth. There's so much to do. I definitely spent like 5 hours last night running around my neighborhood in the
What?
middle of the night like an idiot playing
Oh my
the game
God.
until I ran out of Lightning Bolt. And I'm not one to openly just like purchase, like in-game purchase for items.
Yeah.
Like in all my years of playing Pokemon Go, which is started when I think like 2016, whenever it started, I think I've
Yeah.
spent less than $5 total on Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
I was ready to spend $10 last night on this game.
Yeah. So what
I
are the
didn't.
what are the what are the in-app purchases?
Well, so in order to catch any sort of creatures, you need a lightning bolt, which is kind of equivalent to a Pokeball. But you get 75 when you start, but those 75 go real fast. And the biggest difference is in Pokemon Go, you can go to a Pokestop, you can spin it, and it'll spit out 3 items at a time, and it could be like a mixture of Pokeballs and potions or whatever. In the Harry Potter game, you have to find an inn, and you do a little spell, which means you follow the little pattern on the screen, you trace it, and then it's a rotation of different food, which turns into lightning bolts for you. But you're not guaranteed 3. You can get a 1, you can get a 2, you can get a 5 or whatever. And you can only do that every 5 minutes. So that's why I was out for so long, because I only had one inn near me in walking distance. So I just stood there for like 20 minutes collecting lightning bolts, because you need it in order to catch any sort of creatures. They're called foundables. You have to perform a spell. And that spell, let me see if I'm going to pull up the game right now.
Is it voice activated? Do you have to yell like Patrono?
Oh my God, that Patronus. Akio.
It's
I
Patronus,
wish.
Dorian.
Bro, I
It's
don't know.
Patronus. Dorian's going to have to download this game and play it. Okay, so nothing's popping up right now, but you would have to swipe at the screen. There's a little like spell that comes up, and you would have to trace it.
Oh, dope.
And then depends on how good you trace it, and it's equivalent to like your Pokeball throw it. You can get a great, you can get a masterful, which is like the best one, and then you catch your creature, and then it goes into your collection. So you have a collection of kind of like a Pokédex, but once you fulfill these collections, you get little rewards. So this is like a lot more. There's a lot more to do. It's not just walk around and catch one thing, because that is one of the main points. But there's also a whole story where like Harry and Hermione are much older now, and they're working for the Ministry of Magic, and you're helping them to find these foundables, and You're trying to figure out like who is the person behind all of this. Why are these all scattered and all over the place?
Right.
And you can also train, so you have a profession. You can be an a professor, or a Meiji zoologist. And you can switch them at any point. You can also have your own wand, which is just like an in-game, like a fun little perk thing. What else? You can train up your position. So it's just a lot more than Pokemon
Detailed.
Go.
Okay.
Yeah, there's like... they are called fortresses that you can go and battle in. And right by our office, there are 2. So I know what I'm doing on my lunch break. It's not eating. It's going to go and play Wizards Unite. So this game is just so much fun. Also, when you're going too fast in the game, your wizards start flying on a broom.
Oh, dope.
Like if you're in a car.
Oh, okay.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
And then it won't let you do anything because they're like, you're in a car, you're going too fast. You try to tap like I'm a passenger, but it doesn't listen to you anyways. So, I mean, my only gripe in this game is how quickly those lightning bolts can run out.
And they may have to purchase more.
You may have to purchase more because if you're not living anywhere near an inn, like that sucks for you. I assume that...
So they're almost kind of like... Do you think they're kind of like pushing you to spend money on the game?
Oh,
or?
I 100% believe that because they know
Okay.
people. I mean, I don't ever like any apps. I have 3 apps on my phone that I paid $1 or 99 cents for, and they're all like pet related. I was ready to spend money last night, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, "Who am I? Who have I turned into?"
A wizard. You're a wizard, Wendy.
The app is free, so you don't
Okay.
have to purchase it. Obviously, the purchased items and like all the bonus things will enhance your gameplay. But if
Yeah.
you're patient and you're strategic and you are lucky enough that where you're playing it by is near a lot of fortresses and inns and greenhouses and things like that, then you shouldn't really have to buy
Much.
the much. Oh,
Okay.
Another thing I want to touch on is you can trade the in-game coins for lightning bolts and other items, but it's just I don't know how quickly I can earn those coins yet. So I kind of didn't spend any coins just because I'm like, oh, here's 100 for 50. Here's 100 coins for 50 lightning bolts, and then all of a sudden it's like now I'm out of coins and I have to buy coins and I'm back to square one. So I just haven't spent anything yet.
Being frugal.
Okay.
I respect
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
But it's a lot of fun. I think this game's gonna blow up.
Yeah, you're making it sound. I'm gonna try it now.
I'm gonna try to
we'll see what's
convince
up.
our other Pokemon Go resident addict, Frank, Frank the editor, Frank Lucaturdo, to download this because I can see me not playing Pokemon Go for a really long time because of this game.
Okay.
Which is like a shock. So I love
Because
Pokemon
you love,
Go.
yeah, you do love.
Every time I'm walking around, it's up on my screen. So we'll see. Are you gonna download
Wow.
it, Caboose?
Yeah, I'll download it.
I think you're convincing me. I might have to give it a go. I never touched Pokemon Go.
Wow.
Because I'm not into Pokemon.
Right.
Get off this podcast.
Please,
No.
please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. It's okay. I
fans are
think
like,
The
"Who
Office
is
is
he?"
better than Parks and Rec though. But
Dorian's face.
but I've watched. I haven't watched all the Harry Potter movies, but I do remember I have watched them. So I mean, I might give it a go. It's
Yeah.
free.
It is free.
So
Don't spend the
I
money
might-
on it. Don't.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm that hardcore of a Harry Potter fan to want to be incentivized to. Luckily, but I want to try it out. It sounds pretty fun.
It's pretty cool. I enjoy it. I'm gonna definitely spend my like hour lunch break on this game instead of eating. So if I'm a little hangry later in the game, later throughout the day, you'll know why.
Okay. I'm gonna spend my hour watching The Office because it's better than Parks and Rec.
All right, we're gonna we're moving. You hear
With
this
that, we're
disrespect?
gonna bring Dennis back.
We're moving on to the
Thanks,
next
guys.
topic. Thank you, Wendy.
Thank you.
Oh man.
All right. Thanks to Wendy for coming in and give us some details and her experience playing Harry Potter Wizards Unite.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure we're going to see a bunch of kids run around.
Oh
with
yeah.
their
Don't
phones
wizard
out.
and drive, guys. Don't
Yeah.
wizard and drive.
And also don't wizard.
But I don't think you can, based on what Wendy was saying. Right?
Yeah.
You can't do it while you're driving.
Yeah, well, don't wizard and walk across crosswalks. 'Cause-
Exactly.
Especially if I'm driving,
Or
because I'm not going
off
to
the
stop.
cliff.
Yeah. All right. So that was the last topic. This week news has been pretty light because obviously we just had E3, so we had
Everybody's just
Yeah.
a
like,
ton of stuff.
let's take a break.
Yeah. So let's get on to what's up.
I was just about to say, we got some Twitter questions. So T-Mill24 asks, he says, forgive me, you just learned you're being fired as a game studio exec after your next kid-friendly title launches. Your last act is to sneak as much blood and gore into the game as possible. What kid kids games are you turning mature?
Oh my God. I don't even know if I can answer this question. That is cruel.
I mean, we just talked about Pokemon. I would do Pokemon purely because I don't know anything about it, and it's a big phenomenon. Like, and
that will get. I don't
like
know.
imagine
that will get gory.
like all the when they fight each other, it's not like little like zaps and whatever. It's like full on like cut the heads off and. Imagine like Pikachu that has like machine guns.
Oh my God.
Damn, we're doing that.
Yeah.
I'd be down a rated R Pokemon battle. Okay. I was thinking, would you consider Crash Bandicoot kid friendly?
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Like just ramp it up where like instead of when you hit a power up, instead of like you getting a special ability, you get like a different type of gun or RPG or something like that. That actually when you shoot it blows them up and they have to. All right, this is going into dark place.
I can't answer this question.
You have to throw.
In good faith, I can't morally answer this question.
Bruh. We just said Pokemon.
It's okay. That was challenging.
Yeah, it was
challenging.
All right.
I just cannot.
All right. Next one is with Xbox. This is also from T. Miller. It's a follow-up question. He asked, with Xbox more or less abandoning the Kinect and VR being the new big push with PS and PC, will Microsoft start pushing their HoloLens products to have additionally functionality with the new Xbox, or should they even bother?
No, because
probably not.
The HoloLens is an AR. It's not a VR thing, and AR is more. I've seen like Magic Leap and other things try and like make games out of it. It's just not the same. VR
is like you wear a pair of glasses and you see stuff in your normal environment.
Yes,
right?
yeah. So I don't think AR is for gaming. AR is for functional use of like, hey, if I want to see where I'm going, like a maps thing. Instead of looking at your phone, it has this, and it's even better because it's applying it to the actual real world. So you never would get lost because, sometimes on maps you're like, okay, sometimes they tell you too late to turn, or I don't know, it's unclear because it's not like they say like slight left turn and it's like a diagonal. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. This would have like arrows pointing exactly where you would need to go. Functional stuff like let's say you want to buy furniture, and then you're in your house and you're like, okay, this is where I want to put it, and then you bring up the actual furniture and you're able to place it virtually.
You can do that?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
And you can place it virtually in there, and you'll know how big it is, how it will look.
Like you'd see a virtual big rendered size couch in your. Oh damn, that's dope.
That's what AR is good for.
Yeah.
I mean, right now, like people who are like engineers and people working with a lot of physical stuff, they can like see and learn how to operate machinery and fix things because you get that virtual space of it.
You use that for like school or like
you can
have
so
like a professor.
That's what AR is good for. So I don't think HoloLens is going to have anything to do with the next Xbox.
But do you guys see them pushing VR for the next one, or do you think they'll just?
I hope so. I mean, though at the same time, we have.
I think they're too focused on like Scarlet and xCloud and all that
also
stuff.
with Oculus Quest coming out and being a big hit, and I think is a game changer. The whole point of that one is that you can kind of put it in a little bag and then carry it around, and you don't need a console, you don't need a television, you don't need this, that. So that kind of is against where the trends of VR are going. So I don't know if they will. Kinect didn't do, what they thought it was going to, but the one good thing about it was the voice activation, so I want them to keep that part, the voice control, and being able to talk to your console. They've got to just have that built into the system. You don't need a whole separate thing.
All right, next question is from Christopher Cochran. He asked, do you see Doom Eternal bringing Bethesda back? I sure do.
Oh, yeah. 100%. I mean, I don't think they
don't think they've gone.
Went anywhere.
Yeah. They definitely took a PR hit with Fallout 76, which they're trying to repair with both Nuclear Winter and Wastelanders, which I think both will help. when they're released this fall, because obviously it's a year too late, but it'll help repair some of the damage, because now for me, like, I spent that money. I spent the whole whatever $60 on the game. I played it for a few hours and that's it. I haven't touched it. Now, if I get to come back and play it like almost like it's a brand new game and I enjoy it, then I'll feel
like it feels like you put in an investment. Now it's finally like paying off.
Yeah,
instead
yeah.
of rather you just
it's kind of like, I don't know. Have you guys ever bought anything and then you ended up kind of not using it for a long, long time, and then later, like, you were able to kind of like integrate it back into, for example, so I got this cool tablet. It's a Dell Android tablet, and it's like very high res and it's very thin and small, and I like using it. I used it for quite a bit of time, but the problem was they discontinued it, and so they stopped updating it, and it doesn't work with any of the new Android stuff, and like, so you can still use it, but it's definitely slower than it used to be and whatnot. And then I basically had it sit on the, like, I didn't touch it for, I don't know, maybe like a year.
I guess for me it'd probably be like the Nintendo 3DS, but now it's back in the drawer and hasn't been touched in a minute, because now I have to get a goddamn Switch. So that's probably mine. But yeah, that's the next. Yeah. And also, since we're talking about Nintendo Switch real quick, I know a couple people were giving us crap for saying we didn't do any Nintendo coverage. Yes, we did. Marvel Alliance.
Yeah, Ultimate Alliance.
But also, we would have loved to cover Pokemon Sword and Shield, but we just didn't. We didn't get to do the what is it?
We can only do so much.
Yeah, between three people.
And also, we went to Nintendo and asked them if we could tour the booth, and
So we tried, guys. It's not like we were
we went to the booth. Went to the media center or the media registration and talked to them. And they're like, "No, we don't have any space for you."
Yeah.
So.
All right. Next, this will probably be the last question, and this is Dennis. This is for you, Dennis. Harlow Wilcox asks, "When will you release the Twin Peaks VR?"
We don't have a firm date yet, but we are getting very close. Yeah, very close. It's getting towards that latter stage where it's like almost all of it is complete, and now it's the fixing bugs and then polishing the game. So it's one of those things where it's almost there. But the thing is even once you like have it done, then you got to like do a whole bunch of other stuff. So I don't know when the release is, but it's not too far off, because the game itself is almost done.
Bet. Well,
yeah, and it's been a very cool experience. We just took it over to David Lynch's the other week, so
moves are being made, guys. We'll have more updates sooner.
Yeah, and then a lot of stuff that's like, starting off with a game, like when it's just a shell, it's like you're like, oh man, there's so much to do. There's so much work to be done. And then now finally getting to the part where it's like, oh, okay, now it's like almost fully realized.
The home stretch, yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, it's much more satisfying. Because before when we first started, it looked like a demo, It looked like, okay, you just walk around and then that's it. Now there's like actual stuff to look at and see. Yeah. So,
cool.
I think that's it. Do we have anything else in there? What have you guys been playing?
Nothing.
More Mortal Kombat. Shang Tsung just came out, so I've been, trying him out, and just
I need
back
to
on the
try.
grind with that game.
I need to try him out. I got like 10 minutes worth of playing with him, but I need to get back on that. Also, if you haven't seen that video, go see my Fortnite nearly kill me.
And it's tied into Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, so it's all connected.
Man.
But besides that, no, I haven't touched really anything. I've been super busy, and I've been sleeping, catching up. E3.
Oh, E3 wrecked me. I was that weekend I was at home the whole time sleeping. Like,
me too.
I was sick, like bedridden sick.
Oh, you got the
con crud. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah,
I got lucky. I got lucky with that. Just my voice got destroyed.
Yeah, so the whole weekend when, I thought I was going to kind of rest and relax. I mean, yeah, I rested, but
you were sick.
it was the wrong reason. And I'm watching a lot of TV.
Did you watch The Office?
Bro, surprisingly, I watched the episode where he visits Pam at her art show. Got a little bit emotional, but it's a good episode.
The Office gets you teary-eyed a little bit sometimes.
The Parks and Rec, but Parks and Rec. So we're not going to have this conversation. You do get emotional on that show as well, in the later seasons, but still, it's a good show. What else did I watch? I caught up on Big Little Lies. That's a good show.
Oh, I haven't seen anything past midway through the first season.
Yeah, I binged that this past weekend.
I finished Barry.
That's a good show as well. Or you finished season 2?
I gotta watch
season
Barry.
2.
Oh, it's fire.
Yeah.
I watched the new Black Mirror. It was a good season.
Okay.
It was solid.
I need to see that.
Uh-huh.
It's only
the
3
Miley
episodes,
Cyrus
right?
episode was actually really good.
It's only 3 episodes, right?
3. Yeah.
And then, but what I was going to say about Big Little Lies, and I'm joking too, but I learned especially when you finish the first season, white women really care about their kids. Like the PTA, they are serious about their kids. So it's funny. It's that I love that show though. It's a good show. And also finish Barry. What else is on HBO? Because I just had a membership for Game of Thrones, but now I'm trying to use my money's worth before I cancel it.
True Detective is awesome.
No, I have not watched True Detective.
True Detective is good. Don't watch season 2 though. Just watch season 1 and then skip to season 3. They're not connected in any way.
Okay.
It's an anthology series. Watch 1, skip to 3. Watchmen's coming out later this year. This is now turned into the TV Talk.
The TV Talk podcast with Keanu
podcast.
Swamp Thing is also pretty good. I watched that, even though it's getting canceled.
Yeah, I heard that it's good.
See, I want to watch it, but I don't want to get too attached.
Well, they said that when we had Derek Mears in here, he said that they wrapped it up like. It's a good. It doesn't feel like an abrupt ending or anything. So you can still watch the season, even though even if they get a season 2, you'd still be able to finish the season and feel complete.
Yeah, but I also can't watch it because DC Universe is not available in Canada.
Oh yeah, damn. It's hard out there. It's hard out there.
I'm sure they'll throw it on some sort of service eventually.
Yeah, I think
HBO's
it comes to
trying to
Netflix
pick it
after
up
a while, for international, but.
Yeah. I mean, it's weird because if you go travel internationally, you'll see Netflix has different things on there than what's over here.
To rally it back to gaming, I don't know if I missed anything. Did you guys hear what Netflix, what they did with their panel at E3?
No, not really.
I didn't hear anything about that.
But I do know they have a panel at Comic-Con.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yes.
I didn't hear anything.
Yeah.
I think, didn't you say though, when we were there, they were just talking about more, they're going to try to do more Bandersnatch and Survival of the Wild type of series like that, which I think is cool. Have you done the other one, not the Bandersnatch, but they have that Test Your Wilderness or whatever?
No.
I haven't done that one yet.
I did not know that there was another one.
Yeah, but either it's coming out soon or I'm pretty sure it's already out, but I haven't. Don't quote me on that, but yeah, just check it out. I think there is another one on currently.
Cool.
Yeah. So.
Collider TV Talk.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still
no. I'm still playing games. I mean, I've been wrapped up with the Twin Peaks VR stuff this past. As soon as we came back from E3, obviously we posted a lot of videos, and then I was doing a lot of Twin Peaks VR stuff. As you can tell, I'm still not completely over being sick.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I told you, I was playing Titanfall 2, trying to finish that campaign. I think it's only a 6-hour campaign, something like that.
Not very long, yeah.
I'm 2 or 3 hours into it, so
I need to finish Blood and Truth. So I'll probably
it's set up in
my new office.
Your new office.
Joking, I don't have an office.
Yeah, Dorian's daydreaming about which hopefully will turn into our secondary podcast / video game streaming room. That's where I played finished off Trover.
Oh, wow. In there?
Yeah.
Oh, dope.
Trover was only for I think 4 or 5 hours.
Oh, you completely...
I completely finished Trover. Me and Tony did that review. That was a fun game. I mean, it's not super complex. It's puzzles with a little bit of combat, but it's just the story's fun and the humor's there.
I got about halfway through. I think I want to finish that game as well.
Yeah, it's worth finishing. It's fun. It's not long.
Cool.
But yeah, all right. And that's it for this episode of Collider Games. Thanks for joining us. Dorian, where can people find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at Dorian Parks and Rec. I'm not going to say why, but Parks and Rec is better than The Office. And then you can find me on Instagram at Dorian Parks. And you can find me here.
Caboose.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Caboose EK and right here on Collider Games.
And you can find me on Twitter at ThinkHero or Instagram Dennis.tzng. You can subscribe to this YouTube channel, youtube.com/ColliderGames. Also subscribe to the Collider Factory podcast feed where you'll find this podcast. And also thanks to all the people that we ran into when we were at E3.
Yeah.
Thank you for the support. We really do appreciate that. That was awesome.
Because last year when I went, I remember we didn't run into anyone. And then this year was, a decent amount. I mean, usually, at Comic-Con or Star Wars Celebration, that's, we run into more people who watch our stuff. But games, I remember last year, I don't remember running into anyone last year. But so it was good seeing some of you guys out there. So until next time, we'll see you guys later.